numb. Take it that makes you come. Take it that makes you make it perfect.
You lost? I'm a guide. What'd he say?
Well, the guidebook says that the route's through here. But I know a better way.
It was in 2003 when Aaron Ralston became wedged between his arm and a rock down in the Moab, Utah, in the mountains. Now, how could you make a movie out of that? Like, it seems like a movie you can almost possibly make for dramatic purposes. Well, sure enough, I think one of the best contemporary directors going, British director Danny Boyle, known for his films The 28 Days Later, Millions, and those great films like Slumdog Millionaire, his most popular one, comes out with this movie, and he tries to create this concept for an hour and a half that is going to hold your attention for a character who's been trapped in a rock for 120 hours, the movie's title. We saw this at the world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. We saw the director, Danny Boyle, and James Franco, which is a very cool experience. And Aaron Ralston was even there, which is also a nice treat. But the thing is, it's that one location I'm having problems with. It's kind of like you get it, you've been there, you've escaped with him, and you've understood that experience. By the end, you don't really feel like the need to see it again. Grant, I do love the style Danny Boyle has. He always has that great tonic style, like his frame could explode at any time. It's so lush and vibrant, and all his colors he uses, and it really personifies kind of the horrors, yet almost like wandering minds of this man while he's trapped in this rock in this horrible experience for so long. Overall, I don't think it's nowhere near as great movies. There are problems that when you feel like you kind of get it after a while, and you get the whole concept of just trying to get to know the character, and it's not. You understand the concept very quickly, but I definitely say see it. He does it well. It's just there's a point when you say like, okay, I understand. Let's move on. Like it's not a movie you have to see again. You know?
Well, let me tell you something. I love this film, and I think it's one of the best films of the year. So
Really?
yeah, no, I call me a sucker for concepts, but I was in that thing just from frame one to finish. Danny Boyle and his creativity to find new ways of of approaching a situation is amazing. Every single movie he does, he takes a new shot. He just turns it on its head. He makes it creative. It's like every second, it's like just when you think you're
the talk show host thing was
the talk show scene was amazing. But
yeah.
just when you think like you're gonna lose interest at this one concept where he's just trapped the whole time, it's like, oh, wow, how can you make a movie out of that? He finds a new way, like a new angle. It's like, oh my god, that's interesting. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's good. And he just holds your interest with that, and then pieces all that together with his with Aaron Ralston's emotion, who I thought was played wonderfully by James Franco. I don't know what it was about his performance, but it just got me.
All you have to remember is that everything will be okay.
Oh my god!
What I love about Danny Boyle so much are his narratives and the films that I don't want to sound like a Philistine or too mainstream, but I love narratives that he creates. Really, but he puts on these odysseys that which Slumdog Millionaire great 28 Days Later did in very frightful ways. This movie is not really about narrative. It's more about emotion, which is not obviously a bad thing, but it's kind of like when you're watching it, you understand it, and it's just like it's not like it's the most fascinating or transcendent film by Danny Boyle. So it's good. He does it well. He's the only one I think could pull this off.
Yeah, like seriously, what's interesting is how the trailer approaches this movie. It's like it changes moods the whole way. But then when you see the movie, it's like it's just ridiculous. Oh, I also want to note, this movie is incredibly graphic.
Yes,
In that one, there's
it's R-rated just for that.
It's R-rated literally just for that scene, and there's a reason for it, and all we gotta say is just to warn audiences.
But it doesn't exploit the violence.
It doesn't exploit it. That violence hurts, and you feel it, and it emotionally makes sense.
It's about that emotion.
Blood for no reason is not good. This blood has a serious reason.
People have been passing out watching this.
Yeah, we've heard about people getting taken off in stretchers for this thing. It's ridiculous.
James Franco's pretty good. I love it. It's a role that it's a lot about. It's about more of a director getting into a psychosis than I think the actor is involved, which is why I think he's almost being overshadowed by Danny Boyle's direction in this movie. It just explodes at you, and you're focused on that and loving that.
Well, I think the fact why I liked his performance a lot is because I was loving what he was doing with the situation that Boyle put him in. And that's why I thought it was great. The great mesh of the director and actor at the same time. I thought it was just fantastic how he was able to do that.
No, It is Carol Reed's The Third Man. Now, I find The Third Man is why I think it's a great film, and it is truly a classic. Is that it came right after Casablanca, and it's like a post-Casablanca delight in a way that it is darker, but it does have an American exile coming to a European country, unaware of his surroundings, having to adapt to that. He doesn't get the girl in the end, and there is that sense of kind of like where are we at the end? This sense of loss at the end of the movie. So that's what moved me about it. It stars Joseph Cotten playing Holly Martins. He's an American writer who goes to Vienna to visit his friend Harry Lime, it was based off the name of the screenwriter, Harry Graham Greene, so green for lime, you get the picture. The first half is slightly formulaic and slow in a sense that you kind of get what's happening, but what is very interesting is that they're kind of playing off genres. It's like dark comedy mixed in with like mystery, and as you build up and up and up, the case becomes more convincing, and it's like the movie ultimately leads up to the introduction of Orson Welles, which is a perfect introduction, one of the best introductions to a character I've ever seen in cinema, which is a character sitting in the shadows, and then a cat meowing, and then someone opening their window, and light emerges, and you see the character's face, and it looks isolated, but there's this relentless power in Orson Welles' figure.
Step out in the light and let's have a look at you. Who's your boss?
Ja, zum Teufel nochmal, was ist denn da los? Sagen Sie, was fällt denn Ihnen überhaupt ein? Sind Sie deppert? Ja, Sie meine ich, schauen Sie nicht so blöd. Eine Frechheit ist das, mitten in der Nacht so einen Krawall zu machen.
Harry.
Eine Frechheit ist das, so einen Krawall zu machen.
Overall, The Third Man is a great movie. It's definitely a classic. It's a fun movie, and especially in that second half with the introduction of Orson Welles. As soon as he comes in, the movie gets just a million times better.
But The Third Man, I just thought that the characters were very interesting. Everybody had a purpose. I love how they all interact with each other. And Harry Lime, Orson Welles, his famous monologue at the end is excellent. I thought it was fantastic. And the hilarious thing is he did this role just because he needed some money.
Yeah,
and it's like an Oscar worthy thing.
Don't be so gloomy. After all, it's not that awful. But what the fella said. In Italy, for 30 years under the Borgias, they had warfare, terror, murder, and bloodshed, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love. They had 500 years of democracy and peace, and what did that produce? The cuckoo clock. So long, Holly.
In our introduction, we mentioned that you really don't need to see this weekend, and of course, that movie is Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D. Why? Why are we going to see this crap? What is so fascinating about this thing that you just pay extra $3 to go see it? This is absolutely pointless, okay? Resident Evil series has been dead for a while. Somehow these movies keep raking in money, and you know what? You did it again. $205 million around the world, the most successful Resident Evil franchise ever. Why? You know exactly what's going to be in it. Do you just like things flying at your face? I don't understand. I really don't get it. Can you just help me with this part?
The movie look good, but I do like the glasses. Can I wear them, please?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Ooh, they look nice. I like them.
Oh, yeah.
I got this when I went to the last Airbender.
It looks like a real gimmick on you.
I want to move on, but I'd rather just talk about something else, how lunch was today and other things.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about why we're avoiding this
Oh,
movie.
my goodness.
It's like, what else is there going to be? Resident Evil Redux, Resident Evil the musical,
Yeah, no.
Resident Evil the director's cut. Like, come on, enough is enough. Like,
Just doesn't end.
What, Resident Evil 4D? Like, it's just like
Resident Evil 5 Resurrection. Why? Bring them all back. Just screw
It's
it.
like the aliens are repeating that. It's just
Oh,
like,
my
you
lord.
get to a point, and 3 just gives 3D a worse reputation. I don't like it to begin with. I think the whole
Yes.
thing's a gimmick, except for
Just
Avatar.
Get away from this movie. Stop giving us money. I don't want to see Resident Evil 5. Do you? No.
You know you're in trouble when Mila Jovovich's best movie is The Fifth Element.
Yeah, really. Thank you guys so much for watching our show. Next week we're going to be back with David Fincher's highly anticipated movie, The Social Network. Matt Reeves with Let Me In, a remake of the Swedish horror film. And we are also going to see an Australian take on The Godfather with Animal Kingdom. Should be very interesting.
Yeah, and the question we have for you guys for this episode is which movie in theaters are you definitely going to avoid? You can answer that question on YouTube, or you can watch our videos, or on Facebook where you can like us. But for now,
You watch movies.
we give you the final take.
So long, Holly.